most merciful, the most beneficent, the master of the day of judgment. Thee do we worship, thine aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those whom have bestowed thy grace, the way of those whom portions is not around and have gone out astray. Amen. I mean, on kind of giving I guess a preliminary talk on Juneteenth, and we do got something going on for Juneteenth, like music, showcase, open mic, and all that. But for like the one that don't even still a lot of people that don't even understand what that Juneteenth is, like June 19th, even though like I'll event on the 17th by the way, but for one don't know what June 19th was like the quote unquote recognized day that the slaves were freed. Like the concept or the story like this, like the slaves or our ancestors were freed like with the Emancipation Proclamation, and it was really kind of before that date of June 19 or what have you. And however, it was a lot of slaves, you know what I'm saying, our ancestors around that time that were freed and they don't know they were free. So do it June 19 like a regular, like a day that one kind of put that tag to it, like so called quote unquote, like with the freeing of the slaves or whatnot. But there's a lot of books and stuff y'all can read on that. But I ain't gonna dwell on too much of the ills of our past. But I wanna, for like my own demonstration, I get my own token. You know what I'm saying? I guess I speak on like four brothers, you know what I'm saying? If I get four people in our history for me, you know what I'm saying, they kind of impacted and affected my movement and my ideology and a lot of things. But I start, like, I mean, call my own pops and we get into family before I like on historical people like that, I give you four. But the first one, man, I ain't gonna even lie, even though they going in, it ain't in the same order that I kind of learned about these brothers or whatnot, but it's just four brothers and they pieces, you know what I'm saying? They kind of something that I took with that I apply a lot in my life. Before I like, first one would be Booker T. Washington. I ain't gonna even lie, no cap. Like, just hearing the name, like, I mean, you'll think, like, okay, Booker T. Washington was Uncle Tom, et cetera, et cetera. But before I, like, I ain't gonna even lie, when I first read that book, Up from Slavery, like that's all I guess that's an autobiographical memoir or whatever, but that's a deep ass book. Like if you go back to what that brother did, like through the Tuskegee, you know what I'm saying, school, and then him being a teacher, like a lot of his breakthrough, like that man combined school with a trade. Like he combined, you know what I'm saying, at his school when he first, mind you, they ain't even had no building or whatnot. When he what have you, he combined. What they did was they they tried to sell. They had put a lot of, they had got cattle and stuff like that. They would have horses, like they had cattle in the first like that. Kind of school kind of at the time they had bought a ranch or something, like they had were giving a great gift of a ranch or something like that. But they had cattle, livestock and stuff like that. And then he came up with the ingenious idea to start making bricks. So I mean, it was like they had a whole trial and error period where it was kind of fucking up. But when they got that successful, like making bricks and stuff like that, that kind of added on to the business of the school. So not only what do you gotta educate school and education vehicle, you also teaching people, you know what I'm saying, economics like in the beginning, like, and he was able to do that at a time, like from slavery, like his life was documented before the slave were free, and then consequently, you know what I'm saying, in the middle, like in the friend, and what he was able to do so forth and so on. But I definitely recommend that book, Art from Slavery, though. That brought it at a done. But second for me, you know what I'm saying, Margaret Garvey. Like, I mean, Margaret Garvey created an international movement, African for the African, you know what I'm saying, like, right at the time. Like, he kind of did with the Nation of Islam, like, with a predecessor, like, Nation of Islam, the Moorish Sun Temple, a lot of the movement like that, what the brother was able to do. And we talking about a time when it wasn't even no social media, but what he did was created a newspaper, you know what I'm saying, with worldwide reach and stuff like that. And the brother traveled, the brother did a lot of powerful things, like created a paramilitary, like created a religion, like a whole vanguard for black people. That's where we get the flag, the RBG from. And which a lot of nations and countries in Africa kind of use that flag as a recognition of that. And third, like for me, would be His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I. Like I ain't seen no connection to the story like with Ethiopia, like how they when you get into the story with Starving Marvin and a lot of that yada yada yada. Me and Cole we dealing with the battles in T-Ray, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the battles and stuff like that, but we gotta look at history for me when I find going back, like a lot of you got maps where pretty much the majority of Africa being called Ethiopian when we get into the Kush Empire. But bro, like that's a whole nother story. You can do your own research on that. But His Imperial Majesty, what the brother able to do. Like Ethiopia kind of was the only nation in Africa, well they were the only nation in Africa that wasn't colonized. You get into Liberia, like American made colony or whatnot, but Ethiopia, it's a reason to that because it was a Christian age nation when you get into Pablo Bills and a lot of that whole language and stuff like that. But Ethiopia, so what their brother did, like they critical to our time right now, like Ethiopia was kind of like really like on some Wakanda shit. Like they kind of had their own, you know what I'm saying, what going on, or their own little island with their Africa or whatnot. But when their brother came into power, we had a lot of the ancient Ethiopian, you know what I'm saying, literature translated into a lot of different languages. Cause he learned in a lot of different languages. To we point, we get a lot of these ancient texts. Like let it be clear, like it was the Rosetta Stone for them, a lot of people that follow history and linguistics and stuff like that, like the Kabbalah and stuff like that. It was a Rosetta Stone. We talking about this century, you know what I'm saying? Rosetta Stone, where you get into like three languages that were found on their stone. Like you had two hieroglyphs, two Egyptian languages, and a Roman Greco language or whatnot. But that was the only connection to Egypt, ancient Egypt, like from where we came with that Rosetta Stone, that we get a lot of Egyptologists and a lot of that science and understanding. But let it be clear, it's a lot of people in Egypt right now that don't understand what's on the pyramid wall. They can't even read what's on the pyramid wall. But that being said, going back to the point that Ethiopia, you got people that from the root, like the people that been in Ethiopia since antiquity, like that same leadership had been since antiquity to the point that what meant, you know what I'm saying, going back into the point I made, what the brother was able to do, have a lot of those ancient texts translated into a lot of foreign language to the point that we was able to kind of get a better timeline through the eyes and scopes of Ethiopia. But you gotta look what a lot of these devils and what they did, like in war. The first thing I guess they called it war, like they attacked the priests, they burned the library, cut their people off from their language. So you mean, you know what I'm saying? If all of Africa, even Egypt since antiquity has been colonized, like a lot of the areas, you know what I'm saying, they information that already, the people already kind of been disconnected from the knowledge that was once in abundant from that when you get into colonialization and imperialism and all of that type of dogma and what have you. But you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna say last but not least, but more that far His Imperial Majesty, like that's the goose along. But I ain't gonna say last but not least, but moving like with the brother Bobby God, like did with that at the fourth person, like for me. Same what the brother was able to do, like when you get into at this time, like a game like Vice Lord, through the brother leadership and a lot of one that was standing on that understanding of want somebody with no side, like His brother was able to get almost a $250,000 grant because of the deed that they were doing in the community by creating like businesses, tasting free, teen talk, African Lion, you know what I'm saying? Youth programs and stuff for the youth, like cleanups and stuff like that. His brother was able to get a quarter grant, but I mean, when we get into the history of the Walton game, we see the how that went out of the window. But I mean, those are folk brother for me that kind of, I'm saying, hold true. I kind of leave some type of piece on me where I'm able to extend, add on to it and continue to add on to it. But I leave as I can't, like y'all know, anytime I'm doing a talk, like I always open with the Al-Fatiha from the Quran and close with the Lord prayer from the Bible. So in closing, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespass, and we forget those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen.